everyone. Welcome back to the show. Okay, so medical malpractice isn't something any one of us wants to be faced with, but what happens if we are? We have some questions for our next guest. This is Sam Nicholson from Nicholson Revell Law Firm. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Or welcome back, I should say.
That's right. That's
right. And I was telling you during the break, but I have to tell you so that everybody knows too, those glasses look great on you.
Thank you. I have to give my wife credit. She kind of picked them out.
She picked them out for you. All right. There you go. Okay, so let's talk about this. It isn't an easy subject to talk about sometimes because when we're faced with it, it's not necessarily a good thing.
Right.
But let's break it down for everybody. Break down what medical malpractice really is.
Well, to simplify it, medical malpractice is based upon a mistake that is made that could have been avoided, basically, in the treatment of someone, whether they're in a doctor's office or whether they're in a hospital or in a hospital operating room, a hospital emergency room. The legal definition for medical malpractice is a deviation from the standard of care that's required by the medical profession in general in like and similar circumstances. But that is the definition that the courts have laid down. But it just gets down to whether they breached a duty that they had to their patient to perform in a medically acceptable manner.
Okay.
And the breach of that duty was the cause of any damage that they may have had as a result of that.
Well, and that's unfortunate if that does happen, but I know the situation can be a bit sticky. So how do we prove something like that?
Well, the first thing you have to do is you have to have expert testimony from another physician in a similar field or who is familiar with the type of medicine that is involved. Right.
Okay.
And without that expert testimony, you don't even get into court with it.
Wow.
So that's kind of a screening process for the types of cases.
So you would take the situation or the experience that you went through and see another physician about it, and they would kind of walk you through that?
That's correct. A lot of times we use a preliminary step by getting a certified legal nurse consultant to review and just tell us what happened after reviewing the records. And then we take it to the next step to a medical professional in that same field to give us an opinion as to whether or not there was negligence.
Okay, and so when does actually visiting with a lawyer take place? Because we mentioned, obviously, the patient would have to go to a physician, to another physician to kind of go through what happened, what their experience was. So when does a lawyer actually step in?
Well, usually a lawyer comes into play once the damages have been sustained. Okay. And a lot of times that involves death, unfortunately. We hate to see that, but it does happen. Also, if there's a significant injury, such as a loss of a limb or paralysis or something like that, then the family, usually, or the individual will say, well, I didn't think this went right. They suspect something went wrong, or maybe somebody told them they should contact an attorney. Okay. And then they'll call and want an opinion about it. But we get a lot of calls about medical negligence, but you have to put a lot of things together before you can really have a case.
Before you have a case. Right. And that's something that you definitely, get all of your information together, then go visit with a lawyer, and you can kind of help them work through that. Now, obviously, you guys take on a lot of different cases. Kind of mention to everybody, besides medical malpractice, some of the cases that you all will cover.
Well, we take pretty much all types of personal injury cases, whether it's be an automobile collision, somebody's injured, whether they're hurt on premises. We call it premises liability, which entails slip and fall cases. We also do nursing home negligence cases. We have nursing home abuse and neglect.
So lots of different cases that
pretty much all in the personal injury field.
Well, there you go. And if you need any more information, you can visit them at Nicholson Revell Law Firm, or thedish6.com. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Nicholson, for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, do not